Hello everyone, how's everybody doing today? Hope everybody's having a great day. Coming to you with some awesome news. The FMCSA has extended the hours of service exemption for us. So if you're hauling live animals, if you're hauling animal feed, if you're hauling emergency relief food loads, by all means, throw your logbook out the window. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not telling you to do that legally. I'm just telling you, and plus, if you're like me, your logbook's on your phone, so you'd have to go back and get it. So maybe tone down the celebration a little bit from there. But it is good times because they did extend it until the end of November 30th at 11:59 p.m. There we go. You're welcome. My load I'm hauling right now is not exempt, and I did go over my 11 hours by 47 seconds today, so wish I'd have been PC in that one. Sitting here waiting on a guy to back in and just forgot to log out. I knew I was cutting it close, but totally spaced out on it. 47 seconds. Now I got 8 days with that little, if you're on Keep Trucking, you know what I'm talking about, that gives you that little circle with an exclamation point in there. For 8 days I got to ride around looking at that thing. So just know that they've kicked it in again. You're good to go. Just keep in mind that it is for exempt loads. So if your load is in question, I recommend you find out before you just kick it into PC. I've really toned back what I've been doing on PC. I got a little talking to from my company the other day that said, hey, I don't think every load you've done in the past 2 months has been an emergency load. Well, I'd put it in PC. I'd throw some Bon Jovi on the radio and I'd take off like, ain't nobody's business. But they said, hey, won't you tone that back a little bit, because here's the thing. And I'm gonna spread this message on to you. The DOT has not been checking logs like they have in the past. I think the ELD has really brought on a case of they don't get to write it up like they used to. When we were on paper logs, man, you make mistakes all the time. You forget to. I remember when they first kicked that 30-minute rule down the road on us. Oh my God, I didn't understand that rule. It took me months to figure that rule out. I'd take a 30-minute break and then I'd drive for 10 hours and I'd be like, hey, I took a 30-minute break. And they'd be like, that ain't how it works. So, finally we figured all that out. But I think the DOT doesn't focus as much on logbooks anymore because of the ELD, kind of takes the brain work out of it. Either you got hours or you don't on your ELD. They've even made it so hard you ain't even got to think about the 8-2 split anymore. You just click that little split sleeper burst button on the Keep Trucking, and it tells you what you got on an 8-2 split. Love that ELD for that reason. Now, because I violated 47 seconds on the 11-hour rule today, I'm not crazy about them today. Ask me tomorrow. Maybe I'll be back on board. So keep in mind, it's not so much the DOT focused on what you're doing, but you want to make sure you're legal, because if you happen to get in an accident of some sort, whether it's your fault or not, we've seen plenty of cases where the person at fault has sued the trucking company. I don't know if you know the story. Few years back, maybe 5-6 years ago, Werner guy driving down, I think it was I-20 or something in Texas. The road was covered in ice. Lady crossed the median, hits him head on, and they sue him for being on the road when it's icy. It's true. They did it, and they got away with it. Like millions of dollars they sued Werner for on that. And at that point, it's like, hey, you just pay them off, get them out of your hair, because what you're gonna do? You're gonna sit around and go to court with injured mother with injured babies. It don't look good. So that's my advice to you. Keep that in mind. If it's not an exempt load, don't be playing fast and loose with the exemption, because if you happen to get in an accident, a lawyer is going to pick that apart. Now, I know you don't have to have any kind of documentation with the load, Like, you don't, like, you know, I know the DOT maybe sometimes thinks you do, thinks maybe, well, hey, this guy's got no paperwork that says this is an exempt load. You know, I mean, some drivers, I ain't gonna say nothing incriminating on YouTube. Some drivers have rubber stamps that they had made up at Kinko's, or, you know, FedEx, Kinko's, that say, you know, emergency exemption, you know, and, you know, we was rubber stamping bills. I ain't gonna say, you know, I know anything about that. I don't. But I'm just gonna say, you know, you don't have to have any proof the load is exempt. But when it comes down to it, if it ever ends up in court, let me tell you, that lawyer's gonna find out real quick. So if you are gonna run it exempt, here's what I would do. Here's the minimum due diligence I would do to run exempt loads anymore. And here lately, I just been logging everything. You know, I got a talking to about a week ago, and I just been logging everything, whether it's, you know, I think it's exempt or not. Number one, when you pick up the load, or when you get a broker load, you know, ask them, is this a routine load? That would be my first point of contact. When you're at the shipper, ask them, is this a routine load? And then also ask when you're at the shipper, say, is this a COVID exempt load? You know, maybe hit them with one of those, you know, I got something in my eye, like, is this COVID exempt? And can I have a piece of your letterhead paper that says something along those lines that, hey, maybe it is exempt? I'm just saying. I'm also saying, you know, if you, you know, I'm not saying while you're at FedEx, Kinko's, possibly making your rubber stamp to maybe get some real nice, thick, like, you know, card stock quality paper, with, you know, like a this load is COVID exempt of some sort, to keep with you in case, you know, you ever need to pull that out and show it to the DOT with your paperwork. Don't do that. I'm not telling you to do that. I am saying do the due diligence. That way, you know, you put the blame on other people. If someone else says, yeah, that's a COVID load, hey, that's all you need. But if it's not, if it's a routine load, you know, if it's a load that ships every day, maybe you don't ship it every day, but you didn't ask the shipper if that's a routine load. You took it upon yourself, and when you do that, you take liability. So again, I'm not telling you what to do in any way. I just want you to know that they extended it. It has been extended. If you're hauling live animals, animal feeds, you know, groceries, but it's got to be exempt. Paper products, cleaning supplies, you know, like, you know, it's a gray area they've painted for us here. And I heard someone say, you know, they'll give you just enough rope to hang yourself with. So be very careful with that, people. I'm telling you right now, you don't want any part of that, being on the wrong side of that. So, until later, guys, take care of each other. Thanks for stopping by and checking in. Do me a favor, check out that description down below if you want more trucking info. You know, we do weekly recaps. I show you my numbers. I go over trucking news. I mean, I try to be as transparent here as I can. Come join me for a live show. Those are my favorites. Get to hang out with all my people. Check out that description down below also for Mudflap if you're an owner-operator and you buy your own fuel. If you've got NASTIC, if you've got EFS, ComData, I challenge you to download Mudflap with my link down there and sign up. All you got to do to sign up is, I think, put in your name and your email and create a password, and they'll let you look at the fuel prices. It ain't like, you know, some of these others like NASTIC where you gotta, you know, you basically gotta give them your firstborn child to see what their fuel prices are. Like, you know, is it really that big a deal to, I gotta keep those fuel prices hidden? Check out Mudflap. No fees, man. It's a good time. Also, check out my second channel, Trucking with Diabetes, and, you know, maybe buy some merch if you want to. Thanks, guys. Sorry I kept you this long just to tell you the hours of service are exempt again on certain loads, but I appreciate you stopping by. Hit that thumbs up, subscribe if you're not, and until next time, take care of each other. Bye.